Hi, Nate from Duke's Fitness Center, where your health matters. Today we're going to talk a little bit about recovery. So we've got a few different objects that we can use. There are some things you could probably use around the house as well, which we'll try to talk about some options there. Anything like a soft tube. So this is a foam roller. Many of you may have these at home, but if not, anything that's got sort of a little bit of give to it that you can roll on. That would be a really good option for you there. As far as massage sticks, the rolling pins work really good. Same idea, same concept, just make sure you are cleaning them before and after. Anytime you are trying to loosen up muscles or get rid of knots, some of you may not even realize you have, it's important to make sure that you are letting the muscle relax when you try to go through it, and I'll go through more detail as we move on. The other things we're going to use, this here, so we've got a soft medicine ball. This is got sand inside of it. So it's got a little bit of firmness to it, but it's got some give too. So this is going to be really good to help dig into those spots. And a simple tennis ball. Lacrosse balls work really good for plantar fasciitis under the foot, which I'll show you as well. Tennis ball could be fine also. These are all things that you can use to loosen things up. And again, we do a lot of training to work our muscles. We need to make sure they're recovering as well. So being diverse with our training is important. So say you run one day, maybe do strength another day, yoga the next, maybe bike instead of run the next day. Be as diverse as you can, obviously making sure that it's fun for you still. If you're a runner and running is your thing, that's great. Just again, make sure you are letting your muscles recover. So for the foam roller, we're going to get started here. Let's start out with the front. So we're going to have you lay forward on this. It's going to get right into your quads right away. So you can go in a plank position, you can roll that back and forth. Okay, this is digging into that quad. You can turn on it to get inner thigh. You can put more pressure on one leg by lifting one leg up. You're going to feel those knots. Even if you're not feeling a knot, you're going to feel pressure, and it is going to help release that myofascial release, that layer just outside, just under the skin of muscle that is going to really help loosen things up. So the other thing we can do forward is on the shins. Sometimes people get shin splints from a lot of running right away, like jumping into it really quickly, or a lot of walking. Walking is very common because you're having to lift the toe more. With a run, you're kind of pulling and kicking your heel back, whereas a walk, you're constantly having to lift that toe forward as you walk. So there's just on the outside of that shin, you can really dig into that and get those shins loosened up. So you notice I'm kind of turning my knee in toward me. That's getting that meatier side of the shin. So that's typically we're going to feel that shin splint right on the outside. So that's why you want to turn your foot in to get that section on the roller. Next, going on the back. The calves work really well here just by simply walking them back and forth. And kind of dig them in, or getting your upper body to do some work, rolling yourself back and forth on this. You can turn the leg again to get different parts of that calf. Okay, right into the hamstrings. Same idea, just kind of sitting on it and walking through. And into your glutes. I don't mean to rush through this. I don't want you to rush through this as you do it. I just want to make sure we're able to cover a lot of ground in a short period of time. So again, you've got a glute minimus, medius, and maximus. So minimus is that small muscle on the outside, minimus means smaller, and then medius a little bit bigger, getting here, and then maximus more down the center of one side of your glute. Okay, so those are really good. Again, runners, bikers, or just if you're on your feet a lot, it's going to be really good to loosen that up. Now for your back, we're going to go perpendicular to the spine to start with, and we're just going to have you lean back into that. And rock back and forth with it, walking back and forth. Try to protect the neck, keep the head neutral. We don't want to strain too much up here in the neck. And again, you can lean to one side to get one side more than the other. If you do find that this is a little bit tough to lean on and work on, using your hands as much as you can to support yourself can help. Your IT band on the outside, I missed. I'm going to go back to that. Getting that outside of the leg, you push off your top leg here. If you find a spot, breathe into it a little bit more. All right, excellent. Now, I didn't forget the other part of the spine. We're gonna lay on this parallel to the spine. We're gonna work side to side here. This is really good to get just inside of the shoulder blades. I often get knots here, and I've found ways to really help distance out my physical therapy appointments from a neck injury that I had years ago. I'm really benefiting and healing and recovering from that. There's a lot of good general maintenance that I can do. Again, it's not about finding, oh, I'm in pain, I'm gonna have to do this. Let's do this and prevent injury, prevent pain from happening as best we can. So those are your options with the foam roller. Some are firmer than others. This is a pretty firm one. We have softer ones as well. But again, putting your weight into it will help take off some of that pressure. Massage stick, or again, rolling pin, make sure the muscles relax. If you're standing up doing this, you're not gonna be able to dig in as much. Seated, I can kind of let that muscle just relax, and it's like Play-Doh. It's not something I like seeing my muscle looking like Play-Doh. I like to feel like it's strong, but when it's relaxed, that's what it's gonna do. Have to get over that. It's all for the good of your health to loosen that up. Calves. Oh, this is great on the calves. Find little knots everywhere. Found a knot there, breathe through it, hang there for a little bit, work around it. All right. On the shoulders, you can get a little bit on the back here, turn so you can see just between from the right hand side of the spine and over to the shoulder blade. You get that little area there, as well as it's a little bit tricky depending on your range here to get your traps, but you can kind of get in there, seesaw into it, dig a little bit on there. If you're feeling like it's really bony, don't go over that. That's not really going to help a whole lot. You want to find kind of the meat of the muscle. Next, with the medicine ball and tennis ball option, or again, if you get a lacrosse ball is going to feel like it's really intense. We'll start with this medicine ball. We're going to put it just inside of your shoulder blade. And the trick here is we're not going to actually roll around on it. We're going to move our arm while you're in a spot that you feel like there's a knot, or might be a knot, or if it's tight. It's not always feeling a knot. Sometimes it's just, let's check in on the muscles, and then they feel like, oh, I didn't realize that was as tight as it is. You'd be surprised at what muscles do have that tension that you weren't aware of. Turning the hand, going through different ranges of motion. I had PT show me a lot of these exercises here, and oh, it's done wonders for me. Over the years, we just kind of pick up different movements and little health hacks, and it does wonders. Get on the other shoulder blade, get this other side going. Again, protect the neck. You may find there's a sticking point. Don't feel like you got to go full range. We don't want to cause pain. Although you may find knots that are pretty uncomfortable, but use your discretion as far as how much you want to get into that. Sometimes it's got to be a little painful to get through that, but we're not looking to cause any injury, obviously. We're looking to prevent it. The tennis ball, same idea. We can dig into a smaller spot because there's a smaller surface area there. Oh, really like that one. This one really digs in. Getting that mobility, turning, you'll find that different hand positions, you'll feel that in the muscle differently. A lot of connections coming off from your spine, from muscles and tendons and ligaments. We're going to work on one more thing here, actually. So, again, that soft medicine ball, you get into the glutes really well on that. Much more direct than on your foam roller, or even on your quad. Get into that different spots, IT band, lots of different spots. Again, back to the smaller ball, we can go for that arch in the foot, the plantar fasciitis. This is going to really dig in there well. A lacrosse ball is going to get that much more intense because it's firmer. If you were to use something like, say you had a pool table and use a pool ball, that would be almost excruciating. But again, you can take tension off. Find what you got around the house. And this will really help your recovery and help your body feel well. Again, it's an all-encompassing thing. We want to make sure we're moving well, recovering, stretching, loosening those muscles up, along with mindfulness, gratitude, nutrition, water intake, fresh air, social hobbies, getting that body and mind to work together in so many different ways. Thank you so much for your time. Nate Yano from Duke's Fitness Center, where your health matters.